Hello everyone, I will show you how AI sound detection works. I hope that it's what you're searching for because it's been lots of work behind this asset, and in the end I decided to put it free in the asset store um, just because I don't have time to give too much support for many people that they've been requested for their projects to implement more and more stuff. So if it's something that you can handle by yourself or something that can help you as it is, take it like that. It's free. If you have any question, you have my Discord channel. You can ask over there. If I will have time, I will try to answer, but don't rely on that because I have my own stuff. In this scene over here, I have three game objects. That the one it's red, white, and yellow. All three they are controlled. So I will just play the scene in this way. You can see over here the first page that you'll see is the microphone. It's a authorization that you have to give it in case you want to use the microphone or not, because in this project you can detect voice voice detection. It will be, I will show you later. But first of all, I have to show you about this. That you have three buttons over here, so you can control yellow, red, or white, and basically control its. You move around this plane. The same for the white, the same for the yellow. Okay, this one over here, this one is the enemy. Okay, I'm gonna play red. This sound that you hear over here is my voice. I just had to use it because otherwise using some stuff around the internet it's not always allowed. I just want to make sure that everything over here is set up. So in the player, which is this one red, you can put as many sound emitter you want. Just I'm gonna turn it off for a second, otherwise it's gonna be annoying. So you can put how many sound emitter you want, but you can leave it only one. And then if you have many sounds, like for example on your player, you can have the sounds of your footsteps, you can have sounds of your gun, you can have sounds of I don't know, other stuff that the player can do. So over here I have the audio source again. So can be two different sounds over here. I just drag the same audio clip, but you know, then on the sound emitter script, you drag, you implement how many in this list, how many sounds you have on that object. Can be a player, can be, I don't know, another object, like, I know, a car that is doing different type of noises. And what is happening over here, we can see the sound level, which is this one. This is the real sound level of the sound right now. So more higher it gets, more the number over here, the float, it will go higher. Okay. Um, the volume is the volume of the sound. The amplification, it will be the amplification of the sound, but not the sound himself, as about the virtual sound. We will see about that what it is. Down here we have the density. All this stuff now I will explain you first. I will show you the enable sound visualization, because this is the important stuff, because you have to see a couple of things when you want to do the test. This is only for the purpose of the test. So when you actually start this scene and you want to use it, you can see the sound, how it's getting the propagation. So for seeing that, you see over there, this is the sound, but it's not particle effects like random, it's sprinkling around randoms. No, it's based on the how high is the sound and when it's actually running the sound. So As you can see over here, more loud is getting the sound, more the sound is going around. Then we have the enemy, which is this one over here. And at the moment, since we are in his range, he is calculating the distance over here, because down below we have a corner, and he will calculate this distance around. If we get very close, it will actually can hear us, because around the corner, you know, the sound get more higher. Since the particle effects doesn't collide with him, because over here there is a wall, I'm gonna show you. There is a wall. The particle effects, they're actually colliding with the wall and not with the enemy. If it's a glass, you have to define in the sound emitter. One second. You have to define in the sound emitter script with what over here, with what to collide. So let's suppose that this is a glass. You have to say over here that with the glass doesn't need to collide, and it will not collide with the glass, and it will collide then with the enemy, because maybe that sound, it doesn't collide with is not so, I mean, the glass is not soundproof. Okay. This red line that you see over here, it's actually the enemy that is calculating the distance, because at the moment he can detect our presence, and as soon we get closer to him, because I have set a distance until where he can actually detect us, so he can detect around corners under 15.23. I mean, it's just a number, random number that I choose going up and down. And right now the distance to me it's 17.98846, whatever. So we're gonna see over here in the game, more I get close at one moment, 60, 50, and now he detect me and he's coming to me. As you can see, sound detect bull is got on. Down here we have a timer, so he will be alerted for 5 seconds, and then we can see here alert time. When that alert time, it will get to 0 in case we don't do any more noise, the sound detection is go off. Until then, the main target over here, target OBJ, is this one, which is us. This is game object field. It's public, so you can take by your own scripts or your own project this field and transform it as a destination. The sound detect, it's a public bool, so also you can take it in your implement, call it in your scripts, and work with that. The enemy, it's going to the target by I made a script where actually is moving to the target when this bull is getting true, and is getting to this position to target OBJ. But I'm very sure that you have a character controller on your AI much more complex. This is just for the purpose of the functionality of the AI sound detection. Once we not been detected, we are not chased anymore. It's very clear that. Now the AI enemy also over here we see that is having a field, is called tag filter. So he will actually search for all the objects that they're doing sounds that they are with this tag filter. We can choose which tags actually to be inserted in his list, because maybe you want certain object to be detected, certain not. You have an enemy that can hear certain noises but not all noises, you know, like only 5 of 10, I mean 5 of 10, and another enemy that can hear all of them, all of the objects that they do noise. So over here you can actually select which object you want for him to actually detect. Um, Actually, now that I see, it's having a list where actually you can detect only one object. It's very strange that I didn't calculate that. I will try to see if I can make a workaround, but the reason for this is that the sound emitter, which is this one, it's supposed to have only one tag. I mean, the player, it's having the tag, it should be player, and then all the rest of the game object in the player, probably they have different tags, but the sound emitter has to have his own tag. I will try to make a workaround where you can actually make um, to select more sound. In this way you can filter, which, I mean, you don't filter over here, you actually filter, but you can have a list of sounds. I will try to see in a future update if I can make that. Um, the perimeter alert of the AI enemy I will make over here in the scene. So the perimeter alert is this yellow thing, yellow gizmo, and you can increase and decrease. What is this? If the sound it's happening inside this perimeter, and the sound, of course, is colliding with the enemy, or the sound is here around the corner, or the sound it's very loud because it's having even a field over here that I put at high sound level. Now the high sound level, it's let's say, as you can see over here, the red player. Let's suppose that there is not a player, it's a grenade. Okay, it's a bomb. I have tried not to say bomb because this is gonna be a YouTube video, and every time you say something like that, they filter the text and the voice, and your video is getting flagged. But anyway, let's suppose that it's a grenade. Okay, now this grenade, it's exploding. The enemy, it should be able to hear it even if there is here at a distance where the corner is not supposed to, and maybe it's inside the building. It's supposed to hear that sound, okay? Any type of enemy. But since there are no corners that he can detect the distance, and since the sound doesn't collide with him because this is a wall, he should be able to hear it. That it's a very high sound level. So let's suppose that the high sound level it's around, I don't know, 18. Okay. Now once I will start to play, he will detect me because you'll see on the emitter live over here, which is going very fast up and down, the level of the sound that he detected, because he will search all the objects sounds in this perimeter, it's very loud, and at that moment he says which element have done this high sound. The red one. Okay, I will go over there and I will see what it's about. So we'll take my position. Let's see about that. Emitter level live, okay, is not too high. From what I see, is going around 5.8. I saw over there 8.5. I will go like around 8 over here. 5, here it is, got detected. So you have to check the sound in your project. For example, the grenade, what is the lowest uh, level that he's doing, and at that moment you could put your enemy to detect that level of sound. The problem it will be when different sounds they are not on the same level. Let's say if another noise it will do the same level of uh, of sound and should not be detected. Well, over there it will be a problem because maybe you don't really want it that sound to be so high, but you should use a sound equalizer on your project. I don't know if that is the correct word because English is a little bit hard for me, but the sounds should be at the same level on your game. Otherwise, you will end up that, I don't know, maybe a footstep, it will be the same sound step as the same sound as a grenade, and that should not be okay. You have to check that. Um, the only option that it will be more realistic, it will be that the sound more close to him, they are more it will be more the probability to hear it. But for that, it's the sound collider. And we're getting back to the sound collider just for showing you. I will have to raise again the high sound just for not having problems. We will control the red, and I will have to go around the corner like over here to not do the math. I will show you now. If I calculate around here, actually I'm even outside of his perimeter, but over here it should be okay. You see, it's calculating only one corner. Let's say I'm not really in that type of zone. This will be like a blind spot, if we can say so, because it has to have a little at least two corners. That is how it's calculating. So this it will be like a little bit of blind spot, but not for long. From what I can say, because once you get a little bit down here, the refresh rate, it will do that small, it's not an error, it's not a bug, it is supposed to work like that, and you will get detected anyway. But what I wanted to show, I'll go here. Now over here I'm still in his zone. No, I'm not. I'll get a little bit more close. Like over here, as you can see right now, you might say I'm not detected, but not for a long. At one moment, one of the particle effect, it will actually go, and here it is, it collided with him and he actually detected. This is one of the main feature that I wanted for this project, because it's making it more realistic. If it's so, is not actually something precise. And you might say, why is not precise? Why is not supposed to be like that? Well, in the most of the games, this is one of the feature that I would like to see, and I wanted to implement in my project. Because if it's something precise, most of the players, they will play the game, and that it will be like a cheat if they are very sure that they cannot be here in that spot. I mean, if they are over here, they will say, hey, let's stay over here because the enemy cannot hear us in this spot. No, he cannot hear you for a second, 2, 5, maybe 20, maybe even a minute, depends. It's random. So this will be more realistic. At one moment he will hear you, which give more realistic, in my opinion, behavior. Because otherwise the player, it will say, okay, this corner cannot hear me, here cannot hear me, here cannot hear me, so I know now I track a path, and now I can make a cheat and I can go around and he will never hear me. No, maybe he cannot hear you once, maybe twice, but at the third time, I'm not gonna make a probability of RNG here, but he will hear you and will detect you. So this is why I call it realistic. Now, some of you might say, yeah, okay, I'm okay that the particle effects act in base at how high the sound it is. But what about if I don't want to see those particle effects? Because of course the sound, you cannot see it, you can hear it. Well, in the sound emitter script, there is this bool over here, this field is called enable sound visualization. This is only for you to see it when you're making your game, but of course in the game it will not be seen. So over here now, I'm gonna play red. I will go around just for not being detected, and I will go in the same spot over here, and at one moment you will see that he will detect my presence, and here it is, he will go to me. Because the particle effects, what this enable sound visualization is doing, it will control the particle effects rendering part. It will make them not to be rendered on the main screen. So the particle effect, it will be actually transparent, invisible, which is what we want for our effect. Which means that he will still be collided with the enemy, the particle effects, but the player cannot see it. No one can see it because this is how is the sound work. We cannot see it on air unless there is something magic. I don't know. What was the other thing that I wanted to show before we get into the zone activator? Yes, the AI enemy have to have a collider on it because it has to actually collide with it. If I remember correctly, it doesn't need to be actually a collider that is triggered. I think it can be when it's triggered. Let me see. I don't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure that I made it like that. No, actually it has to be not triggered like this. Okay. I think this one it was the collider on the sound emitter. No, neither this one. So both of them, they has to not be triggered. Yeah, now it got glitched because it's trigger, not its trigger. It just got enable it, disable it. Or did I left this one? Yeah, I left this one. Wait 1 second. Let me see again if trigger is not trigger. This one, I'm very sure that it can be even is triggered because it's just for him to be detected on it, so it doesn't necessarily need. So you can use it as trigger or as it's not trigger. As for the enemy, yes, he has to have it not triggered because it will get triggered by the particle effects, otherwise cannot detect the collision. But the sound emitter have to have a collider. That's because the enemy has to actually detect the objects that they make sound. So for doing that, he's saving his own perimeter search by colliders. The particle effect, you might say, where is it? Well, when you start the game, it will be added automatically, as you can see over here. It's getting configured automatically, so you don't need to configure anything because it's configured by the script. So all these over here, they will get controlled by the script. That's the main part. The emission and the range, everything, it's controlled by the sound level. Now let's see about the microphone, which I have disabled earlier because I was doing some test. Now, as you can see over here, already it's telling me that it's detected the microphone. As you can see now, the particle effect is they are not random. It's only when I speak. So if I speak lower or less, it will do less particle effects. If I will speak more, it will get more particle effects. At the moment, my microphone is at high volume, so that's why the sounds is going far away. The sounds over there, they are detected based on the volume of the microphone and the amplification. So if I'm getting the amplification less, the particle effects, but this is something that you have to select before you start the game, because they have to be configured before you start the game. The same, even the sound is having a layer with which have to collide or not, like the sound emitter, and is detecting the microphone automatically in a drop down. You can change the script and you can make your own way, but it should be very easy. It's not a very difficult script. As I said, if you have question, you put in Discord channel, and whenever I will have time, I will explain you how this thing works. Even the microphone emitter is enabling from start particle system, and it's configured by himself. You don't need to add it. The microphone sound density, the same like sound emitter density, sound density, it's controlling how much the sound density to be. I will put here at maximum now, just for doing a test. Play red. Wait, yes, I have to enable the sound visualization, otherwise we cannot see that. Play red. As you can see right now, the particle effects, there are so many. If I will get less, because maybe you have a sound that is not so, how we can say, not loud, but is not a sound that it should be detected too much, we can lower the density. Let's make it like this. As you can see now, there are less particle effects than before, and it should be less detection in that case. So it's another thing that you can configure on your sounds. How the mixer emitter is working and what it is, I will explain this in documentation. There is already here done 2 examples. I will recommend to use these 2 of them. It's a little bit more difficult to explain about the sound channel, why they are made about that, because let's suppose that the player at one moment he will think about, if the enemy can hear the sound like me, that means that if I will mute the sound from the game, he cannot hear me anymore. But that is not gonna work, and I will show you now. What is happening right now here, actually you can't even see it because I put it not to be seen in the inspector. The script is adding another audio source over here on the sound emitter game object, and is creating a clone, but the thing is that that clone, it stays static with the volume at maximum. I mean, not the volume at maximum, with the volume that it's supposed to be in real time, because let's play the red. If I will go on the sound and I will put the volume of the game, like I put it right now, you see the particle effects over there, they are still working because the particle effects, they are not controlled by this audio source, but by the clone. So, which means that the sound over here, it will get the clip and it will produce it at maximum volume. This is only this audio clip, it will be only for the game, not for the uh, for the for our mechanism. For our mechanism, we have these two controls over here where we can actually get lower. As you can see over there, the sound is getting lower, and then amplifier, which if we want more than this, than maximum. Um, this is for the player not to be able to cheat when is muting the game sound. Otherwise, it will just mute the sound. It will pass nearby the enemy, doing all the noises, and that it will be a cheat. It's another thing that I think about it. Now let's pass about to the zone activator. This video is getting very long. The zone activator, what is doing, I have it over here on my player, and you can see over there two spheres. One is two spheres gizmo, one is yellow, one is red. What is happening over here, it's in this script. We can move the perimeter of zone activator, perimeter activator, and perimeter deactivator. Now, on your project, probably you have multiple hundreds, thousands of objects that they can create sounds, and even enemies that it will stay over there and hear your sounds. Well, they will be always active. These scripts, they will be always active. They will still have over there a minimum of performance in loose because they will stay over there listening all the sounds around. Probably you have your own system that they actually activate and deactivate the objects based on distance, but I made this one and it's activating and deactivating the sound emitter and the AI hearing scripts in the range. So over here, what is inside this yellow sphere, it's activated. What is outside between this yellow and red, it will get deactivated, and even above red. So practically right now this enemy, it will have the hearing activated. Once it's getting outside and it's touching the red perimeter over here, it will be deactivated. So if you want to that enemy to be deactivated the script very fast, you can get it like the same range like this one. I will not recommend to do it outer-wise, like the red inner and the yellow outer, because otherwise it will be reverse effect. So all the people, all the enemy that is around you, they will be deaf, and all that will be far away, they will actually hear. If you want to use this on your enemy AI, there is a bool called zone activator. So if you activate this, the same as the author objects that they can create sound, there is zone activator. Now let's go on the red. I will actually increase the perimeter of the activation. Let's make it a little bit like this, and this one like this, just for the test. So if I put the zone activator active, the true, the bool, the same on the other objects, on the start, the component sound emitter and the component AI hearing, if they are outside of my perimeter over there, they will get deactivated on the start. So all the objects, they will get deactivated around. Now if I go in the enemy, as you can see, it got deactivated, and this one is deactivated, this one is deactivated. Now if I control the red, I will put I'll make these windows like this just for us to see a little bit. Let's test with the enemy over there. I will go with Control Red and I will go nearby. As you will see, once I'm getting close, this script over here, it will get activated. Here it is. I'm getting far away, deactivated. What is happening is me over here, that once I'm getting like close, the AI hearing is getting activated. Once I'm getting far away, the AI is getting deactivated. And the same it's for the outer objects, this one, which is the white one. If right now I'm getting close of it, it will get activated because maybe you have let's suppose there is a glass and you break that glass and you have to activate the sound like not in the last second, maybe once you're getting very close in your perimeter. And once you get far away, it will be deactivated for better performance of your game. If you think that is something that you need, you can use it. If not, well, depends on you. I'm trying to give you all the information in this video, but this should be all of them. Yes, the last thing, it's the script that is controlling the player over there. I made a part where it's actually the built-in movement, the old system input, and it's starting from here until over here. If you're using the new input system, you have to actually do like this. You have to comment all this part like I'm doing right now, and this one over here, you make it like this. And all this part down here below, it has to be like this. You remove this line and this line over here, and you save the script. You go in your project and it will say that you actually, then you can use actually the new input system. Right now it's giving me an error since the project is made in the built-in. I have to do it like this. So right now I'll revert what I've done over here. If you still have problems, as I said, you can actually contact me in Discord. I can try to help you if I will be over there, if I will be online. Of course, in your project, if you're using the new input system, you have to go in the UI and you have to add the event system and pretty much that's all. I hope that this video have helped you to understand how this system is working, and it's something that you actually search for it.